A burgundy rich color theme is actually something that I really like in spring because it's got that dark foliage. We've got ranunculus that also have that fire and ice look. I love these, and how can you resist with a good flowering hellebore? Today we're building a marsala planter for early spring. I absolutely love these Italian clay. This is a 17-inch pot and it's got a decent volume. So these plants will live a long time in this pot. What I like to do is to use a really good potting mix. I've chosen this Miracle-Gro potting mix because it has moisture control and it also feeds my plants. There's fertilizer mixed in with the soil. So to get this planter started, I like to use something that's tall and green and evergreen. And this Alberta spruce is just going to do the trick. It's a little bit root bound, so I like to tickle down the roots just a little bit. And we're going to set this right in the back. Next, I'm going to add in this beautiful hebe. This is a pink flowering hebe, which is absolutely gorgeous. We're going to add this in over to the one side. We're going to send him down a little bit further so that he can get as much room as possible. Now for hellebore, beautiful winter blooms in a burgundy color. We're going to take this and we're going to set him right in beside this Alberta spruce. Now for some beautiful ranunculus. I love the colors of these. They've got that piquetty burgundy edge on a white bloom, which is going to create a lot of contrast. For interest's sake, we're going to set them right closer to the front. And I'm going to pick out some taller ones for the back row here. And I like to group them all together. Lots of color right out front. Look at that. I just love ranunculus. For another bunch of burgundy, we're going to use this heuchera. And heucheras do good in the garden and in containers. And this one I'm going to just tickle down the roots just a little bit right beside this hellebore because there's lots of room. I see a little room on this side. We're going to add in some burgundy colored, kind of a rosé wine colored pansy right off to the side there. And because these are smaller plants, I can add in several of them and they're going to grow in and beautifully fill that space. And they'll have flowers that last right through to the end of May into June in a nice sunny spot. Beautiful. Just edging the line of the pot, and there'll be all color right here. And I think I found another spot right out front here where I can do again some more violas. These ones are sorbet and they're pure white, and I just love them because they flower profusely all through the spring. Again, smaller plants, so I'm going to pop a few of them out here, trying not to damage any of the plants, but they'll keep coming. And using about 3 or 4, I'm just going to fill in the gap out front here, and they're going to have beautiful white little violas color right through till May. Well, actually beyond May. Right along the edge. So get into your planter, pull it apart a little bit, make it look natural, give it the room it needs. And I think I've got a pretty uniform look. Lastly, I'm going to take some of my Sika willow and I'm going to trim that in to create a little bit more height and a little bit more interest by placing these into the planter using a pair of bypass pruners. I'm just going to trim them up a little bit so that it's not so difficult to get them in. And depending if you hit a root ball or not, it might be a little bit more difficult or a little bit easier. And there's really no crazy way that I'm doing this. I'm just trying to make it look as natural as possible and as interesting as possible by using all these stems. And maybe one more off to the left here, or my left. And to add a little bit more interest, I have a spray of pheasant tail feathers that I'm gonna just insert right in front of the Alberta spruce to create a little bit more interest. And I think that looks great. I hope you enjoyed this planter. Have a wonderful spring. I'm Jason from West Coast Gardens.